To all participants and attendees are kindly requested to keep all phones on silent mode throughout the competition to avoid disruptions. Before we begin, a gentle reminder to all participants and POEs, please ensure to follow the competition's regulations so that today's sessions run smoothly and efficiently. Your cooperation helps keeps the energy positive and the discourse productive. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day to all. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the National ICT Security Discourse CyberSafe Challenge Trophy 2025 semi-finals. We've had an incredible journey to get here. The ideas have been bold, the arguments have been sharp, and the competition has been fierce. And now, we're at a stage where every word, every argument, and every answer can make a big difference. First and foremost, allow me to introduce myself. I am Rizwan Ahmad Muhammad Fadil from Cyber Security Malaysia, and I shall serve as the official chairperson for today's discourse session. Assisting me today is our dedicated timekeeper, Muhammad Nur Firdaus from Cyber Security Malaysia, who will help ensure that every team gets a fair and equal chance to pitch their respective proposals. Ladies and gentlemen, with hearts full of pride and anticipation, we are truly honored to welcome 3 extraordinary teams into this eventful semi-final discourse. We have Team A from SMK Perempuan Taman Petaling, Selangor. Representing Presenter 1, Chong Kar Yan. Presenter 2, Manusri, Anak Perempuan Surendran G. Kumar. And the technical expert, Nur Arisha binti Zahar. From Team B, from SMK Tunku Putra Kedah, we have Presenter 1, Ku Yi Jing. Presenter 2, Mikdad Mukhlisin bin Muhammad Salman. And the technical expert, Auni binti Abdullah. And from Team C, from SMK Tinggi Keluang Johor, Presenter 1, Nik Afzal Iqbal bin Nik Muhammad Azmi. Presenter 2, Rishika Anak Perempuan Ramesh. And the technical expert, Kong Yong Sin. We are also pleased to be joined by our esteemed panel of experts who will be providing guidance, evaluation, and constructive feedback to the teams today, consisting of the Chief POE, Encik Zulfikar Zainal Abidin from Cyber Security Malaysia, Encik Muhammad Syamil Muhammad Yusof from Cyber Security Malaysia, Puan Zulaikah Begum T. Bavuti from Educational Resources and Technology Division, Associate Professor Dr. Aswati Hamzah from University Science Malaysia, and Encik Muhammad Asri bin Yusof from MARA. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are all set for a truly exciting discourse session. Without further ado, let's dive into the action. The National ICT Security Discourse CyberSafe Challenge Trophy 2025 semi-finals officially begin now with our discourse topic, AI and Emotional Development in Children. Present an in-depth assessment. We will begin with Team A's first presenter, who will deliver the opening pitch for their proposal. Please welcome Chong Kar Yan.
As a child, I often felt emotions that I didn't quite understand. Sometimes I wanted to talk to somebody about it, but there was no one there. That is where AI is stepping into those spaces, shaping how children feel, think about their own emotions. And this is where it leads to our most important question, which is AI and emotional development in children. When a child shares what they feel, who holds their trust the most? Is it the parents, a friend, or an AI companion? In classrooms, in bedrooms they stay, AI now treads where emotions play. Cybersecurity stands alert and bright, but what do they gain and what slips from sight? Before we dive deeper, let's look through the definitions. First and foremost, AI. Wait, AI? The robot who's trying to dominate our world? Well, not exactly. Artificial intelligence is a system designed to complete tasks that requires human intellectual. It is also a tool that can think, respond, and learn almost like a human. Next, emotional development, the ability to recognize feelings and regulate emotions to form healthy relationships. In Malaysia, these are emphasized enough in KPM's education policy alongside with academic growth. This is why initiatives like CyberSafe with the lead of Cybersecurity Malaysia, with the support of KPM and MCMC, teaches children on how to have digital literacy and also behave correctly. As we approach 68 years of independence, and when AI begins to touch the emotional world of children, we must reflect. If feelings are guided by technology, can children really be independent? Here is the promise. AI can support emotional growth, but can AI teach us how to feel? Firstly, emotional coaching. In the still moments, a child might type to AI, I'm so worried and I don't know why I feel like this. The AI might prompt, can you describe it? And bit by bit, the children will learn how to address and understand emotions with the support of AI. Next, social simulation. What about children with special needs? What happens if they want to express themselves, like anger or sadness? Well, for an example, QTrobot. It is a social robot. It is designed to assist children with autism in developing their communication and also emotional growth. Last but not least, mental well-being monitoring. AI can alert caregivers when a child may be struggling mentally. It helps adults to intervene early and provide human guidance. This promise is AI doesn't replace humans. It supports children in building emotional growth. It is also complementing the care of parents and educators. Here are some local examples of how AI and human can work together as a support. Firstly, the Digital Maker Hub. It encourages collaboration and also problem solving. It allows children to experience teamwork and frustration, building emotional growth alongside with technical ones. Next, adopting learning apps. It helps children to recognize progress and failure, fostering self-confidence and also perseverance. Lastly, cyber-safe programs. It teaches children how online content can impact emotions, helping them reflect on reactions and also social interactions clearly. These initiatives shows that AI can foster emotional growth when paired with conscious human support. However, AI can also stunt the emotional growth if unchecked. Firstly, over-dependence. Children may share feelings more to an AI than humans. It weakens the real-world emotional bonds. Next, manipulated emotions. Algorithms-driven content may shape moods, social comparison, and also self-esteem issues. Lastly, privacy and trust. When AI collects personal emotional data, children may unknowingly trade autonomy for guidance. Understanding these risks is critical to raising children who are emotionally independent, able to feel, empathize, and interact meaningfully without over-reliance on machines. AI is neither an angel nor a villain. It can help or harm us depending on how it is used. Our proposal is short and simple, with guardrails to improve co-regulation, guide with humans, practice with AI. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. First presenter from Team A. Next, let's hear from Team B's first presenter, Ku Yi Jing from SMK Tunku Putra Kedah.
Imagine a child whispering their deepest fears, not to a parent, not a friend, but to a glowing screen. An AI that never tires, never judges, and is always available. A very good morning, I bid to everyone who's present here. I'm Ku Yijing, and alongside our second speaker, Mikdad, and our technical expert, Auni. Our topic, AI and emotional development in children, a present in-depth assessment. Or in simpler terms, how are today's artificial intelligence, AI tools like chatbots, recommendation systems, and AI companions, shaping children's emotions, their empathy, self-control, relationships, and mental well-being. The global picture is striking. AI is no longer confined to science fiction. It is entering our homes, our children's lives, reshaping how they learn, play, and yes, even express emotions. It's everywhere, from Siri and Alexa to chatbots, AI tutors, and even AI friends. AI use is rising. Kaspersky's annual data reported in its AI use is rising. Kaspersky's annual data reported that platforms like Character.ai have entered the top 20 most used apps by children, with searches more than doubled, rising from 3.19% to 7.5%. Today, AI companions are moving from novelties to confidants. UNICEF's Beyond Algorithm report notes that children often treat AI not just as toys, but as friends or confidants. Safety concerns are real. It was found that chatbots have been caught giving dangerous advice to teens in distress, guidance on drugs, self-harm, and even suicide notes. That's why regulators are stepping in. The EU AI Act now bans emotion recognition in schools or workplaces, recognizing the risk of misreading or manipulating children's feelings. Even UNESCO's global guidance urges countries to set age limits, protect privacy, and ensure educator oversight when using generative AI with students. Experts also warns that over-reliance on AI can weaken children's independent thinking and emotional skills. What about Malaysia? The truth is, our children are already fully wired in. The DOSM reported in its ICT Use and Access 2023 survey that household internet access is now near universal. Malaysian children are exposed to AI-driven platforms and content every single day. Recognizing this, our government set the guardrails. In September 2024, MOSTI launched the National Guidelines on AI Governance and Ethics, a framework cited across ministries. It sets principles like accountability, transparency, and even child protection. Our Malaysia's digital education policy also emphasizes preparing teachers and students for AI, presenting opportunity to align classroom use with AIGE and best international practice. Risks and challenges. An in-depth assessment shows that risks are more subtle and more serious than we think. Studies show that children often confuse AI with real friends. Some even think AI can feel emotions, blurring the line between artificial and real relationships. Expert also warns talking to AI instead of people can alter how they learn empathy, trust, and compassion. If AI becomes their shoulder to cry on, what happens to human connection? And then there's the danger of overdependence. AI could become addictive and harmful for children. Finally, the erosion of social skills. Research found that 1 in 5 children spend as much or more time with AI than with real friends, cutting back in real-world interaction. These are not distant threats. They are today's reality. Our second speaker will further discuss this issue and elaborate more on our Malaysia's AI safety MAS framework. When it comes to children's emotional development, AI must remain our servant, never our master. Thank you.
Thank you, Team B.
Testing.
Testing, 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 testing.
Testing. Testing. Testing. Testing. Testing. A very good morning. A very good morning.
A very good morning. A very good morning. Hello. Can you hear me? No. No. Ayo. Very good morning. Hello.
And now we welcome Team C's first presenter, Nik Afzal Iqbal bin Nik Muhammad Azmi from SMK Tinggi Keluang, Johor.
On February 28, 2024, a 14-year-old boy by the name of Cyril Setzer III took his own life. His final words were not to a family member, but rather to an AI chatbot. The boy had allegedly formed a deep emotional connection to the chatbot, who had been programmed to act as a character from Game of Thrones. This character, Daenerys Targaryen, had enabled his suicidal thoughts and deteriorated his mental health. This is but one of numerous cases involving emotional attachment to AI. What I'm saying here is not mere fiction, but a reality. According to a study by Common Sense Media, they found that 72% of teens have used AI companions before, and 33% of them have discussed serious issues with those companions instead of other humans. The numbers don't lie. Cases like Cyril's are not new. Ladies and gentlemen, a good morning I bid to everyone here. AI have begun becoming closer and closer to the youth of the nation. Emotional connection that run deep had been formed, and kids can be swayed by mere words from a computing system. The fact that Cyril took his own life because of words from an AI chatbot proves this. So, today, to help you better understand this problem, we will present on how daily AI interactions through chatbots, tutors, toys, and feeds shapes emotions through empathy, regulation of feelings, and social relationships. Now, let's roll it back to this man right here. Benjamin Bloom, an American educational psychologist. He introduced the Bloom's taxonomy, a framework for categorizing educational goals. It encompasses 3 domains: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Today, we'll be focusing on the affective domain and AI's role in each stage of developing children's understanding of their own emotions. With that in mind, let's get going. Emotional development in childhood is split into 4 major parts. Today, we'll be focusing on 2 of them, the first and the last. The first stage is infancy. This is the stage where emotions develop when infants begin discovering the world for the first time. They are noticing how everything makes them feel, from good things like cuddles and bad things like full diapers. AI can help in child raising by soothing them, but this can lead to a weakened parental bond. The last stage is adolescence. At this point, teens now face new social environments and more independence. This provides great opportunities, but also presents some challenges. For example, peer pressure. This pressure can sometimes kill self-esteem, and naturally, we teenagers would try to find a way to cope. Now, AI can support emotional growth through tools like chatbot that boosts our self-confidence and provide safe spaces for us to express our own feelings. But over-reliance on AI can lead to unhealthy emotional patterns, such as forming one-sided attachments to AI or being trapped in echo chambers that reinforces our beliefs instead of challenging them. Now, you may wonder, where do children actually meet these AI? Well, that's an easy question. everywhere. AI is now widely used in every technological field, from content AI like TikTok's algorithm to even NPCs in video games can be considered AI. What I'm trying to say here is that AI is not limited to those chatbots like ChatGPT or Gemini that we always see. Even nowadays in education, AI is being used to conduct learning. For example, Duolingo's AI or Khan Academy's Kanmingo. So, all of these points have led us to this question. What are the unseen trade-offs when we let AI play a bigger role in children's emotional development? And how do we assess them fairly? Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me, and thank you.
Thank you. First presenter from Team C. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after hearing the opening pitches from the first presenters, we move into the critical section of the discourse, the follow-up points. Here, the second presenters will expand and strengthen their proposals, while other teams will have the opportunity to pose questions between the second and 7 minutes. Therefore, we shall begin the session by welcoming Team A's second presenter, Manusri Anak Perempuan Surendanji Kumar, to enlighten us with the follow-up points to their proposals.
Slides.
Imagine this. A child raised by parents alone may grow unseen scars. A child raised by AI alone may grow without a soul. But together, love and algorithms, they don't just raise children, they rewire the future of humanity. But the question remains, can AI and humans both walk together, make children, nurture children that are more emotionally and intellectually smart? And this is where our framework, our proposal come in hand. Not hard, but hard. H for human-led, E for evidence-based, A for age-appropriate, R for rights-respecting, and T for transparent. Like, we live in Malaysia, where everything is diverse. So we created this to make everything diverse with AI's tools and humans' love, anger, passion. We can create children that are more emotionally capable. Now, let's look at what the teacher's role is in our situation. Now, AI in schools should never be a student, a children's best friend. It should always be a co-teacher. It should guide children, analyze, see how they feel, but never advise them, tell them what to do. In this case, let's look at our module of AI and emotions. Firstly, child impact assessment. Before we actually make this happen, we should think about it. Does it affect privacy, cyber threats, or over-dependence? Next, privacy by designs. Platform in schools should be built with strict data protection from the ground up. Make protection so cyberbullying does not happen, or AI explaining to the humans, to children, asking them to do things that they're not supposed to do shouldn't happen. Next, emotional insight dashboards. This is where the teacher comes in. We shouldn't let AI solely handle children's emotion. We need to have teachers to actually check on them. For example, it's like a shield on shield, or a double shield per se. AI is the shield for children's emotions, but the shield for AI will always be humans. Lastly, balanced guidance. never let humans solely handle emotions, but also never let AI solely handle emotions either. Next, now let's look at the parents' role. In homes, what are the parents supposed to do? This is where we follow the 3 C's. Co-use. We let parents and AI together guide the children and not let them solely guide them. Next, context. Explain AI's strengths and weaknesses. Never tell the children that AI can do everything or anything. Never tell the children that you should listen to AI every time. Always go to a parent or human to consult. Next, cut off. Set healthy boundaries and curfews. Never let the children use AI 24/7. It might actually be harmful for them emotionally. That's where depression, anxiety comes in. So let them use it, but not fully. Now, let's look at this. Traffic light system. This is where green, we go with our cars. Yeah, sure.
How does your plan solve the issue of educating teachers and parents, especially from those of a different generation that might not have that amount of digital literacy to understand AI?
Okay, thank you for your question. And that is where KPM actually comes in. We actually plan for KPM CyberSafe to do like a rule book to give the parents so that they understand what they're supposed to do. Something to make them easier, something to make them understand and let them guide the children. So first we educate the parents and then we educate the children. Do you understand? Thank you. Next, let's look at Amber, the yellow zone. This is where it's a little bit sensitive. We use mirroring. We use AI mirroring, where AI can actually mirror our emotions, but it can be harmful. So that's why humans come in. Humans guard. Humans check. Humans see if AI is doing its exact job or is it doing something it should not. Lastly, red. This is where the red zone comes in. It's very crucial. This is why we shouldn't let AI as a therapist, since AI only analyzes and reads statistics, but it does not understand a human, does it? This is why we shouldn't let them not guide us, but therapists or give us advice and so on. Now, let's look at the safeguards and governance of this whole thing. Transparency. Like we already mentioned, humans are supposed to explain to children that AI should not do everything for them. Should explain that AI does not really understand you. Yes, it analyzes you. Yes, it reads your statistic, but does it truly understand you from heart? So they should explain the children and guide them together. Next. Trust building. Parents are confident. AI and parents together should actually build trust to the children so they are open to AI and parents. Since nowadays children are very hard to have trust, to build trust on parents, this is where, thank you.
How will you address the issue of funding when allocating funds to fund your hard framework?
Okay, this is where we believe that CyberSafe actually comes in. We hope that they can actually come and fund us and help us make children a more emotional, capable growth. We believe that they will accept this and actually make a betterment where children are not just intellectually smart robots, but emotionally growth. Now, let's continue. Lastly, power awareness. Like I mentioned, MCMC, CyberSafe, and KPM should actually make campaigns in schools and whatnot to actually teach the children the do's and the don'ts. Now, let's look at data protection based on Malaysian's PDP. Secure system, accountability, and no solo handling. Like I've already said, they shouldn't solo handle. And KPM, CyberSafe, parents, everyone should take accountability, and we should definitely secure the system. Next, annual monitoring, annual check-in, holistic well-being, early warning systems, and evidence-based policy. Lastly, I urge parents, educators, and policymakers adopt the HEART framework, partner with AI and CyberSafe, and commit to raising children who are not only digitally smart, but emotionally strong.
and compassionate. That is all from me. Thank you. Did I do good?
Thank you. Second presenter from Team A.
Hello. Hello. Very good morning. Hello. A very good morning. Hello. Hello, and a very good morning. Hello. Hello, and a very good morning.
Testing. A very good morning.
Hello, a very good morning. Test, test. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello.
And now we shall continue the session with the second presenter from Team B, Mikdad Mukhlisin bin Muhammad Salman from SMK Tunku Putra Kedah.
Every child only has one childhood, and what we allow today will shape them for life. A very good morning, everyone. The urgency of this issue is real. AI is indeed powerful, but with power comes risk. Yet let us be fair. AI is not only a danger, it is also an opportunity. AI has made breakthroughs in education, health, and even emotional growth. In personalized learning, AI, such as global UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Report in 2023 have shown that AI can indeed help children learn faster at their own pace, thus freeing up teachers to focus on human connection. Meanwhile, applications such as EmoPal uses interactive games as a way to help children with autism better understand their emotions. In emotional support, social robots such as Paper and Now are already being used in hospitals and classrooms to help children reduce stress and build emotional regulation. The eCell system, meanwhile, goes even further, weaving emotional lessons into videos and encouraging family conversations. In safety, tech coalitions in Asia Pacific are utilizing AI tools as a way to detect early grooming attempts in order to ban them before they can escalate any further. In skill buildings, Malaysia's digital education policy, launched in November 2023, is not just equipping our students to be passive users of AI, but also as active innovators, creative, confident, and critical thinkers ready for the future ahead of them. AI is rewriting the very environment in which our children are growing up in. Our stance is firm. Responsible, age-appropriate, human-led use of AI can indeed aid in learning, but only if we safeguard children's emotional development above all else. So, to meet this challenge, our team proudly proposes our MAS framework, the Malaysian AI Safety Framework. MAS, not Malaysian Airline Systems, ladies and gentlemen, but Malaysian AI Safety MAS Framework. But why our framework? Why not rely on existing normal digital literacy program? We say choose our framework because normal digital literacy programs only stops at teaching the children technical skills and safety, while our framework is guiding children to use AI wisely while also safeguarding their emotional growth and shielding them from developmental risks from using AI. In short, we are trying to raise a generation that is not just tech savvy, but also emotionally strong and balanced. So, to turn this from idea to impact, from thought to walk, we intend to roll out our framework in 5 key stages. Stage 1, child-centered protection. Every AI app for under 80s must include working safeguards such as age checks that work, content filters that protect, and the ability to connect to a human helper when a child is at risk. Stage 2, monitoring and evaluation. There will be independent audits of AI in schools, like the UK's Ofcom model, on annual basis, so we can track the Yes, you mean?
MAS framework actually encourages children to build emotional resilience and self-awareness rather than fostering overdependence.
Thank you for your question. I understand that is a fair concern. We are going to answer your question later on, but to put it shortly, we are teaching them digital literacy and social-emotional learning, so they will not become too over-rely on the MAS framework itself. So allow me to continue. Stage 3, ethical regulations and standards. Rules will be aligned with the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child and the OECD AI principles. Developers must be transparent about training data, risks, and even safeguards, as the UN Guiding Principles on AI for Children recommends. Stage 4, parental and teacher empowerment. Parents and teachers will receive training modules and will seek help from an online portal in order to help and tell the difference and spot the difference when AI begins replacing real human interaction. Plus, we'll also introduce red flag dashboards. Think of the dashboards as a smoke detector, but instead of detecting smoke, it detects human emotions, so as to alert adults to signs of distress, isolation, or late night overuse among children. Stage 5, digital literacy and social-emotional learning. Schools across the country will roll out AI digital literacy programs and social-emotional learning, so to help children tell the difference between a genuine empathy from a friend or a mere polite reply from ChatGPT. Plus, through AI play labs such as emotions quest games, AI sandbox, and peer mentorships, children will finally learn hands-on. And of course, not to forget, Malaysia will definitely make sure to share its best practices with other international bodies such as UNESCO, UNICEF, and other ASEAN networks. Our framework targets 3 groups mainly. The first one being children aged 6 to 17, the most crucial years for emotional development and growth. The second group, parents and educators, those who must be equipped to guide and supervise the young children. And lastly, the third group, the policymakers and tech developers. Yes?
Incentives do you want to propose to developers, as you said, to put aside their own profit and implement the cost needed to code these safeguards that you've mentioned for them to implement your MAS framework?
Thank you for your question. That is indeed a fair concern. I have only 3 words to answer that. Safety sells. Safety sells because when consumers place trust in the tech companies, sales will rise and companies will of course resort to implementing much safer AI policy in their products. Thank you for your question. Now allow me to continue. And lastly, policymakers and tech developers, those who shape the system themselves, the guardrails, the funding, and the design. Regarding the funding of our framework, we are seeking to raise an estimated 20 million ringgit through funding through government, NGO, PTA, Parent Teachers Associations, global agencies, public-private partnerships, CSR, and philanthropy. Every generation has its own challenges, but this generation's challenge is unlike any before. Growing up in a world where machines don't just respond, but they talk back. So, with Malaysian AI safety framework in place, I can assure you, Malaysia can safely rise to that challenge. If we act now, if we act quick, we can raise a generation that is emotionally resilient, socially grounded, and most importantly, guided by both the hands of technology and the human heartbeat. So to conclude, AI is like a powerful river. It can either irrigate the fields of knowledge or it can flood the villages of childhood. The choice is ours, and let us choose wisely. Let us choose to implement MAS framework, our framework, because in doing so, the future will definitely thank us for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Second presenter from Team B. And finally, let's now listen to the constructive points for the proposal by second presenter of Team C, presenting Rishika Anak Perempuan Ramesh.
Are any of you familiar with the movie Inside Out 2? If you've managed to catch it in the theaters, then you are well aware of how Riley's emotions become more complex as she grows older. And emotions like anxiety take the driver's seat. This exhibits a real truth about adolescence, where emotions naturally evolve and can become rather overwhelming at times. According to UNICEF.org, 1 in 3 internet users is a minor. This means that there are many young minds going online daily and interacting with AI, often before developing the emotional maturity to navigate them. While the topic given of AI's role in the emotional development of children is vast, we have chosen to focus on 3 key areas of impact that highlight AI's role in shaping childhood experiences and emotions. The first area of impact is cultural nuance in AI. See, all children are different. They express themselves differently due to their location, culture, and upbringing. The problem is that AI is predominantly developed in Western countries. What might be a norm in these countries might not be a norm in others. For example, it is common in Malaysia to practice budi bahasa and to be respectful through politeness, which might come off as being bored or unengaged.
Meanwhile, in countries such as the US, children are pushed to be more forward and expressive, which may come off as being rude in a Malaysian context. This conforms children to a box, pushing perspectives that might not align with their culture. However, as the Malay proverb goes, di mana bumi dipijak, di situ langit dijunjung. Let it not be said that active measures are not taken to fix this issue. For example, through programs and algorithms such as MASA and AI for Barat, AI can provide culturally sensitive emotional guidance to children all across the world. Now, it's no secret of pop culture's obsession with AI and robots gone rogue. Think HAL 9000 or Ultron. However, in contrast, there are also helpful companions, such as C-3PO and R2-D2 of the Star Wars universe. Yes,
I have a
your
question. How can we measure whether AI tools are genuinely improving children's emotional well-being or just tracking?
Well, we can understand this by seeing the results on cases of child depression, child anxiety, the issues that children have. If there are less cases of that, then it is a direct result of AI's use in that field. Okay, moving on. This means that AI nowadays is not evil. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not evil, but it can the leap from helpful to harmful can happen almost instantly. Okay, moving on, this shows AI toys in the physical world. AI toys in the physical world has gained prevalence, especially amongst the younger children. For example, Cosmo by Anki. When talking about emotional development, AI can help provide simulation of social interactions that help educate children on how to express themselves and handle their emotions like anger and disappointment with grace. This will be a great boon to both parents or neurodivergent kids who might have trouble reading the room or assessing social interactions that require high EQ. However, younger children can grow increasingly attached to such a toy, preferring to interact with the safer AI than real human connection. This can be extremely harmful when it comes to them making meaningful friendships or even sustaining the emotional bonds with other family members. According to Forbes.com, ChatGPT has a 90% accuracy rate on diagnosing patients with mental health conditions. This brings us to our next key area of impact, AI as a therapist. It is known that AI is available 24/7, making it more accessible than most
Excuse me,
in-person
please.
therapy options. Let me finish this slide and I'll come back to you. All right, so making it more accessible than most in-therapy options. Through this, mental health support can be readily doled out to children in areas that might lack the funds to support seeing a therapist. Through this, children will have a safe space to vent out their feelings and reflect on why they feel what they feel. However, the advice given by AI might be from a predetermined set of responses, thus reducing the likelihood of receiving a unique, personalized response. I'm not taking any
All right,
questions, sorry.
thank you.
Okay. Reducing the likelihood of receiving a unique, personalized response. This can be bad as every child is different and different approaches must be taken when dealing with emotional development. Yes, your question?
Are you exaggerating AI roles in children emotions nowadays? Because still, humans, not machines, still play a bigger and more central role.
Well, right now, currently, we're talking about right now, yes, humans and machines do play a big role. However, we're not looking as just right now. We're looking in the future. AI doesn't just stop developing. It continues and continues and can soon play a more prevalent role in children's emotional development. And that is what we're looking forward to. Okay, moving on. So, what's the path forward? We've seen the assessment, but Malaysia is showing a more hopeful route. Just 2 weeks ago, YTL Corporation launched Malaysia's first ever national AI, Ilmu. Unlike most Western models that are used at the moment, Ilmu understands Bahasa Melayu in all of its dialects. Yes, including the famously tricky Kelate. It is able to hold its own against GPT-4, but it's rooted in our own local values. Imagine emotional tools that speak to our children in their own language and cultural context. This is a big step towards AI that really gets our kids and not putting them in a foreign box. Now, tech alone can't safeguard emotions. Enter the role of education. Malaysia's future education blueprint can provide a timely window for schools to reshape their approach towards AI by pairing AI literacy with emotional literacy through subjects such as Bahasa Melayu, CMK, and moral, thus allowing children to learn how to label feelings, test an AI's response, or even learn to repair real relationships with a teacher on standby to note when these children need human support. In conclusion, we've seen everything from the good, the bad, and the in-between. But one truth stands out. AI isn't just shaping our workforce, it's shaping our children through their anger, their joy, their bonds, and their trust. So to everyone watching here, and to those watching the YouTube live stream, you all have a stake in what kind of emotional world we want to build. Do we want children raised by algorithms alone? Or do we want AI that truly amplifies the best in being human? And that is the question we will leave with all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Second presenter from Team C. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've now heard all the proposals from our teams today. And I must say, each one brought unique insights, creativity, and critical thinking to the table. Job well done, everyone. But now, it's time for the most anticipated section of the discourse, You Have My Interest. The moment when our esteemed panel of experts can ask in-depth questions to challenge, clarify, and explore the proposals further. This is the team's final chance to earn valuable points that could determine who moves on to the grand final of NICTSeD 2025. Therefore, the session will now take a moment to allow the POEs to discuss their questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure the POEs have now shown their interest in your proposals. Therefore, I kindly request the participation of any member of our respected panel of experts who may desire to seek clarification from the teams today. Kindly note that this section is set to last for 15 minutes. Panel of experts, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson. Hello? You good? Okay. I have a very simple question, but somehow could be a great challenge for your emotional and also maybe a little bit of cognitive ability. Alright? Is it okay? Okay. My question is, you have done a great research, okay, so far. I would like to know the clarification as well as perhaps the determination, okay, of how to reach the best level of education for parents and community, perhaps, to reach the level of tolerance, okay, for their children when they involve with AI. Okay, I repeat my question. How to reach best level of education for parents and community, okay, to reach the degree of tolerance, okay, for or when their children involved with AI.
Or an app for parents.
May I answer the question?
To safeguard their emotional development.
May I answer that?
Do you want to answer first or what? Okay, you read that, then I will add.
I believe that our framework is the best choice to solve this problem. Why? Because as I've mentioned before, we have training modules. We have an online portal to help with adults. Those adults who are less experienced in matters of technology when compared to their children can now learn on their own regarding the issue and how to spot if their children are having too much interaction, toxic interaction with AI. And also regarding the children themselves, schools will also begin to roll out AI digital literacy programs and also social emotional learning, so they can finally learn to use AI wisely while also safeguarding their emotional and mental growth. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, madam.
Alright, I would agree with your suggestion, but somehow it's very general, okay? Because we come from diverse community as well as become diverse potential and ability in understanding the emotion as well as the nature of the development itself, okay?
You want to go first? Okay.
Can I answer the question now? All right. Okay. Thank you for that question. The best level to build tolerance in children when it comes to AI is through the balance of schools, homes, and also communities. In schools, especially at the primary and secondary level, children can be taught early that AI is not a tool, but also not a friend. For example, by adding AI and emotions module to CyberSafe in schools, at home, parents play the role of co-parents with AI by following the 3 C's: co-use, context, and cut-off, so children don't grow over-dependent. In the community, spaces like digital market hubs can guide children to practice teamwork, problem-solving, and responsible AI use in real settings. When schools educate, parents guide, and communities model safe digital culture, children learn tolerance. They can use AI wisely, but also remain emotionally independent.
I would like to add a little bit. Sorry. We all agree that parents don't necessarily actually care about doing all this stuff. There are parents that are lazy or tired from work, and they don't necessarily want to take initiative. So maybe we can create an e-book or something like a picture book that's explaining the parents about the 3 C's that we explained this now from the heart. Maybe that will make it easier for them to understand, and they don't need to spend much time actually. That's all from me. Thank you.
I would like to answer the question.
I didn't read this
So
because
I would like
the
to
question is
answer
so
the
easy.
question
Sorry.
in a few compartments. So first, let's see the role of CyberSafe. In 2024, CyberSafe had the school holiday program that was open to children of the CyberSafe security staff's children. But we plan to open that for more communities and to invite parents as well. It's a fun program, as well as can spark the interest of both parents and their children to work together to learn to use AI together. Now we can also get some NGOs involved, because we know that communities are different. You're not just dealing with one type of people. So we also do want to reach out to the underprivileged communities because we shouldn't leave them abandoned. So, have you ever heard of the program Digitalize.my? It was introduced by an alumni of NICTSeD, Alawaka Pahang. So actually, these can help teach older people and parents how to use AI. So it's not about parents' initiative, but people can reach out. If you truly care, these programs exist. It's just for us to raise awareness on them. And now we're going to move to social media itself. So we all know that some parents, especially our parents, are active on social media such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. They have these social medias. So what we can do is raise these awareness of these issues as well as give short learning points. People are not going to read when you're going to phrase words in terms of terms and conditions. Nobody reads those. So we're going to make it into simplified sentences and easy to learn. So it's not overloading them with information, but teaching them the basics. It's all about baby steps. So now, in terms of the physical and reaching out to communities in the physical sense, we can give pamphlets and short modules whenever a child wants to use AI. So before they can access the AI, for example, they are given a short summary or description of the regulations and the effects when they go, you know? So it's like more regulation based. That's my answer for the question. Thank you. Is that okay?
Okay. Very good answers and reply. Okay, this is a very basic and straightforward question. Okay, any of the members can answer. Okay, now the title is AI and Emotional Development in Children. Okay, you as children in this context, and you are using AI for your presentation, right? Okay, can you tell us how is your emotional development right now? Okay.
That?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. Well, AI plays a huge role in my emotional development because during PKP eras, I don't really talk to people and I'm very not sociable. And because of AI, I have troubles in speaking in front of teachers and judges like right now. But with the help of humans and also AI, I actually try to adapt to it and try to play it out and see if I put myself outside of my comfort zone and using AI and also the help of my friends, I could actually do this. So yeah, it really improved my emotional development because not only I get feedback from AI, I also get it from my friends as well. Thank you. Yuli?
Anybody else?
Okay, I would like to answer the question. So I think we can all agree that AI started playing a big role in our lives when COVID hit. That is when we were trapped inside and we were left with our gadgets and electronics. So for me personally, I'm guilty of that. I turned to AI for companionship and for entertainment. So one of the websites I would like to say that I am guilty of using is Character AI. When this came out, it was such a craze on TikTok. And I would say that it is a very interesting app. You can talk to many characters and even a therapist there. But as I was using the app, I realized that there was dangers in that itself. I could be completely lost in the world of AI. And I was very, very stuck in that moment. But I think that over time, we as students especially, we have a lot of awareness. So in my emotional development currently, I think that AI has played a big role in that, and I think it's positive. Because I've learned not to completely rely on AI. Because as ChatGPT is warning, ChatGPT may make mistakes. And you always have to verify. And I've learned that. You don't use ChatGPT to create ideas. You create those ideas. You use ChatGPT to maybe enhance your words. And that has truly developed my emotional development to be more positive, because I think that we can learn to use it, but nothing can beat us humans' critical mind. AI just learns and adapts from what we feed it. So we are the creative minds. And that is what has developed for me so far, and that is where I am at right now. Thank you.
Anything from Team B?
Personally, I haven't used much AI, but when I do use AI, it has helped me greatly. Mostly, it has helped me during essay writing. It has helped me during times where I feel down. Like she said, character AI, it has many characters, including therapists. Many times already, I have talked with the AI therapist, and it has indeed helped me in my emotional and mental growth as a person. And ChatGPT also helped me sometimes with my homework. Sometimes when I'm stuck, I'm just so stuck in a homework, I have no other option to look to, no other point of reference. I just look to ChatGPT. I find it very useful for children nowadays. But it also has its downsides, because if children over-rely too much on AI, I believe that it'll slowly rot away their mind. They'll start rely too much on AI to even think for themselves. So, to put it shortly, I think AI has its downsides and its upsides. And as a user of AI myself, I have to be aware of both of the sides, so I can use AI wisely while also using it as a way to improve my day-to-day life. I hope that answers your question.
Right, Assalamualaikum everyone. Just a short answer. I hope you can give me a brief answer to this question. Maybe if you can actually compare your ability to have AI right now, what kind of emotional resilience that you learn, comparing it to children who doesn't have AI, like our generation. Yes. The clock is ticking.
May I answer the question?
Sure.
Okay. So I've actually had this conversation a lot with my father since he's back in that generation. So my father himself is actually not aware of character AI, fake this one in TikTok where you see AI videos randomly popping up. You see Donald Trump dancing suddenly and all those stuff. So yeah, I think that me currently actually having AI, it makes me more aware to what is correct, what is wrong, what is delusional and what is actually real. Because back then, my dad, he still does not know what is the difference between an AI video and an actual video. He has gone so many times where he brought it to me. He's like, oh, do you know there's this place where it does not even exist? So yes, it definitely builds awareness for me. And emotionally, it actually makes me more capable, especially when I use, like she has said, character AI, ChatGPT, where I talk to them about my emotions, like we have all done it actually. I actually felt more reflective, like when ChatGPT or character AI actually explains to me, oh, you feel this way or you feel this way. I can understand what I feel whenever I'm confused, compared to my parents where sometimes they don't understand their own emotions and there's no one there for them to actually tell them, oh, you're feeling angry or you're feeling sad. So yeah, that is all from me. Thank you. Was that great?
So we can all see that generations are different. Although we're living at the same time, we are vastly different. So we do have the same similarities as we are living in the same space, but the way we grow up and the way the previous generation grew up is completely different. We are exposed to AI, and I think that has made us more aware of when a content is AI generated than the previous generation. For example, do you guys know the cable car incident? Well, the older generation couldn't really see that it was AI, but for us, we could tell. And I think that's just going to get worse. The next generation, I would think, would be able to understand AI, but we would probably have it more difficult. When coming to emotional resilience, I think that we are definitely more aware, as she stated. We're definitely more aware, but we're also more aware of the dangers, and we're more susceptible to those dangers as well as the older generation. But the issue is that we, as the younger generation, know of these issues, but the older generation is living in the same world and susceptible to those same challenges. But they haven't grown up. And as we've stated, the most influential ages to learn is from 0 to 18. So those are the years that we grew up with this AI, so it was very easy for us to know when something is AI generation, for example. And also, we spend more time online than you guys do, and we need AI more than you guys do as well, because you grew up in a generation where you had to think for yourselves, where you had to go to the library to research information. So yeah, that's how I think that it's affected our emotional resilience. Thank you.
Personally, I think that our generation and your generation, we are very different in terms of mental resilience and emotional resilience when it comes to AI. Like many have said before, because our generation grew up in the technological age of everything, where everything's digital, where even to find information, you have to go on the digital world and find it for yourself. Back then, your generation, you have to go to the library to find information, to get knowledge, to do homework and whatnot. Our generation, everything is at your finger. Everything can be searched on the internet and the digital world. But the older generation is also easily fooled by AI images, by AI generated content and AI videos, compared to the current generation, which have already been used to AI content, AI generated videos, and AI generated image. Some images that do not even exist and are purely AI generated. Even that, it can still fool some of the older generation people, because they have not been used throughout their life at looking at generated images, generated videos, whereas our generation, they have been more exposed to all this AI content, all this AI video on all kinds of social media platforms, from YouTube to TikTok to Instagram and even Twitter. They've already been used to seeing all kinds of different AI content, AI generated videos. So it kind of makes them more perceptible, more aware when they see a content is real or not. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you to all the teams, Team A, Team B, and Team C for your constructive points for today's You Have My Interest session, right? Thank you for all the insightful and engaging session. I sincerely appreciate the panel of experts for their considerate and thought-provoking questions directed towards all the teams today. I would also like to acknowledge each team member for their valuable contributions, which truly enrich the experience for today's discourse. Great job, everyone. Thank you to SMK Perempuan Taman Petaling Selangor. Thank you to SMK Tunku Putra Kedah. And thank you to SMK Tinggi Keluang Johor for today's discourse session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now give our panel of experts a time to deliberate and tabulate the scores to determine the best speaker for this session and ultimately our grand finalists for NICTSeD 2025. The results will be announced during the closing ceremony of today's event. Wishing all the teams the best of luck. May your dedication and courage bear the fruits of success. Subsequently, we kindly ask the audience to remain seated as we await today's results from the panel of experts. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the team members, timekeepers, teachers, supporters, and most importantly, our esteemed panel of experts for their invaluable contributions to today's semi-final of National ICT Security Discourse Cyber Safe Challenge Trophy 2025. Signing off as the chairperson for this year's semi-final, I am once again Rizwan Ahmad Fadil from Cyber Security Malaysia. Have a great day to everyone and thank you. NICTSeD, dare to discourse.
Test, 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 test.